Good afternoon, everybody. So the BMW Compact Cup cars are lining up on the grid ahead of their second 15-minute race of the day. The first one earlier on was won by Ian Jones from Stephen Daly and David May, and that therefore makes up the 33-car grid for the second race of the day. Ones to watch out for: Owen Hunter, 4th from 8th on the grid in race 1 with a new engine in the car for this weekend. The likes of Paul Hinson as well trying to work their way through from further back as Ian Jones and Stephen Daly row 1, David May and Owen Hunter on the second row together. Then row number 3 we have Matt Parks and Ben Huntley with Sam Carrington-Yates and Tom Griffiths on row 4. Paul Hinson and Gordon McMillan are next ahead of Mark Skeets and Alan Caulfield. Then we've got on the 7th row of the grid Matt Flowers and Craig Jameson with Keith Towers and Ray McDowell next in line. Then it's Mikey Doble, Robert Marshall, Chris Hack and David Sharp in this 33-car entry. Jonathan Atkinson, Wayne Flint, Jim Barrett and Tim Scott Andrews next as the race gets underway. 15 minutes of racing gets started here at Oulton Park. It's wheel to wheel down towards the first corner. Ian Jones on the inside, Stephen Daly on the outside, Matt Parks is trying to come on the inside, everyone else for third. David May and Owen Hunter I think just leaned on each other slightly then going through the first corner. I can't tell you what's happening now. They're all going to car spinning in front of the pack there. That's not good. Oh, they almost all missed him, and there's just a bit of a collision there towards the tail end of the field. That could have been a lot worse though. It's always a worry that through the first corner at Oulton Park. The car spins in front of the pack, but thankfully that could have been a lot worse. Right, Ian Jones leads the way, Stephen Daly second, David May though going after him in third with Matt Parks and Owen Hunter next in line. Let's see if we can figure out who these two cars are. I can't quite see the numbers though, so we'll come back to that in a moment though, because Stephen Daly is attacking Ian Jones for the race lead. Into the braking zone they go, Parks in 4th, Hunter 5th, Paul Hinson 6th there on the inside of Sam Carrington-Yates going into the hairpin. As they make their way back out, and Owen Hunter look at the inside of Matt Parks. This is for 4th position. I think that with the outside line with the banking to help him carry a bit more speed out of the turn. That's surprisingly, we get the safety car called for the first time this weekend for the Compact Cup drivers. Not often actually we end up with safety cars in the Compact Cup, but that was just a first corner melee that unfortunately has ended 2 drivers' races, but both drivers out of the cars, okay. Well, the cars need recovering and the debris and fluid dropped behind likewise. So there we see the safety car balls and flags. Racing just put on hold for the time being. Gives us time to catch our breath and remind you fully of what happened in race 1, where it was Stephen Daly who led the race initially from pole position until he got down to this part of the circuit on the opening lap, when Ian Jones made a stunning move on the inside, took the lead away. And Stephen Daly spent the rest of the race trying to find a way back through, but it was a big long gaggle of cars in front of the field. Dave Mayo and Hunter, Matt Parks were up there, and Hunter getting past Matt Parks late in the going to take that 4th position. Then Sam Carrington-Yates, Tom Griffiths, Paul Hinson, Gordon McMillan rounding out the top 10, but there were entertaining battles all the way up and down the order. That is always the case with the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. There's Owen Hunter, 4th place in the points coming into this race. Now, he moved back into 3rd place ahead of Paul Hinson in the first race. This is Owen Hunter, of course, trying to fight back from this exclusion that he had at Castle Coombe last time out to at least get himself back into contention for 2nd in the championship. Stephen Daly, the championship leader by a fairly handsome margin, it must be said, because Ian Jones, who beat him to the win in the first race, is only 6th in the points. So, albeit with drop scores coming into play, he will come down ever so slightly. Right, let's see if we can figure out who it is who hasn't come through at the end of the first lap then, because they will be our 2 drivers presumably who have gone off down at Old Hall. To do that, we're going to have to go over to the second page of my timing screen, because you can only fit 20 cars on each page. Who is it that's slipping down? Andrew Hack, I think, is one. I think he was the orange car involved. And Andrew Prince, possibly the other one. Yes, they're the two. So, Chris Hack, excuse me, and Andrew Prince, the 2 drivers who got caught up in that first corner incident. It was Hack that spun and Prince that ploughed into the back of him. But with dust and the low sun and tyre smoke and lots of other cars around you, it's very easy to, it's very difficult to avoid the car that spun in front of you. Maybe Chris Hack has actually continued onto the pit lane, possibly, because I can't see him there at the scene of the crime. Yes, I think Chris Hack is in the pit lane, I can tell you. So Chris Hack has come into the pit, so we've only lost the 1 car potentially from the race, though you'd imagine Chris Hack will more than likely be out of the race as well. But wait and see as the recovery process is ongoing on the exit of Old Hall Corner. It's a shame because there are only 15-minute races in the Nankang Tyres Compact Cup, so this is taking a fair chunk out of our race. Right, let's take a look at a replay of the start then. And we'll see. It was a very even start from both front row men. Watch Matt Parks, though, goes from the inside of row 3. He's always a good starter, is Matt. Gets to the inside of David May, but they're 3 abreast. Owen Hunter's on the outside of him, and how on earth they avoided significant contact, I don't know. But then the contact with Chris Hack is going to be in the middle of the pack somewhere. So watch for an orange car running wide. There he is, and it's contact with possibly Wayne Flint, one of the silver cars that is. He does a full 360 in front of everybody, and eventually somebody was going to find him, and you can see Andy Prince there completely blindsided. He was stuck right behind another car. That car jinked left, and he had no reaction time at all to avoid the contact with Chris Hack's rotating car. So that was a real shame, though, that it ended like that. It was, we got them all cleanly through in the first race, but whenever you've got 33 identical cars trying to make their way through a corner in one go, you're always likely to have the odd little bit of drama, and that's what we saw there. So Andrew Prince and Chris Hack, well, I'm going to say they're both out of the race. Let's see, did Chris Hack rejoin from the pit lane? No, he's still in the pit, so yes, they are both out of the race, but only one car to be recovered from the accident site. So Ian Jones led the opening lap, second was Stephen Daly, third was David May, fourth for Matt Parks, and fifth for Owen Hunter. So they've swapped back over again from where they finished race 1. Paul Hinson was sixth, having started ninth, so he had a good start, the yellow and black number 25 car. Sam Carrington 8th, 7th, Ben Huntley 8th, Gordon McMillan 9th, and Mark Skeets in 10th place. There at Mike Doval, his way through, he's running in 20th position. It does look as though we're going to have another lap behind the safety car after this one, possibly, because I don't think they've quite got Andrew Prince's car out of harm's way. The field working their way through underneath the shadows now up at Druids Corner. Gordon McMillan there, you can see the red and black Raw car, and then Mark Skeets, the yellow car behind him. All of these drivers who are familiar names to regular viewers of the Nankang Tyres BMW Compact Cup. It's really nice to have them on the TCR UK package this weekend. Back with us for our season finale at Donington Park. In the meantime, they go and race at Thruxton. Very rare these days, actually, that a club level championship like this gets to go and race at the fastest circuit in the country. We'll be going and racing at Thruxton and then coming to Donington for their season finale. It's looking increasingly likely that Stephen Daly may have wrapped up the title by then, but the racing will still be as energetic as ever. And with the gloves off, because the championship's sort of decided by then, possibly, then you're going to see some really, really great racing, so be sure to tune in for that final meeting of the year. It's going to be a really good one. So there's Andy Prince's car, so they've got it moved, but not quite in time to get the race back underway, so there will have to be one more lap of safety car. Now, a safety car lap is about 4 minutes, so we're only going to have about 4 or 5 minutes left on the clock. The safety car may well pick the pace up this time around, though, because it knows the circuit's clear, so we may as well get on with this. Try and get the race restarted. There is the rolling remains, well, not even rolling remains of Andrew Prince's car. His race over before it ever really began. So this is the 5th race meeting of the year for the BMW Compact Cup. Coming into this weekend, Stephen Daly had won 6 races. He still only won 6 races because, of course, he didn't win the first race here at Oulton Park. The other race winners, Matt Parks won a race back at Snetterton. Owen Hunter won at Cadwell Park as well. In fact, Owen Hunter had a double race victory at Cadwell Park. In a weekend in which they actually had to have a split grid format because the field was oversubscribed. They had too many drivers entered and they couldn't fit them all in one grid, so they had to do, they split the field into 3 groups, groups A, B and C, and then they all race each other across 3 races. So you have 3 race winners essentially, and Owen Hunter won both of his races. Stephen Daly won one of his, so it's a great racing at Cadwell Park. Great racing all year long though from the Compact Cup. That's why it's one of the real fan favourites club level championships in the UK. It's certainly becoming one now though, as they start to get a bit bigger status, and you know, the TCR UK package only helping with that. I know that the drivers are all really appreciative of the support that they get on social media and the like, as people start to realise that club level racing in the UK is some of the most exciting racing you'll see anywhere in the world. And the BMW Compact Cup is high up the list of most exciting championships out there. So working their way down towards the chicane. There's Mark Skeets, Tom Griffiths behind him. See some of the drivers that run in the midfield, but we don't necessarily always get a chance when the race is so breathless at the front. We don't always get a chance for them to get their moment in the spotlight. It's all about to kick off again very shortly. The safety car is going to come in this time around. It has indeed picked the pace up as well, so in fact to the point that Matt Parks set the outright fastest first sector of the race that time around behind the safety car, but that will change once we get up to racing again in a moment or two. So we're going to have maybe 5.5 laps, 5.5 minutes or so left on the clock. We only got 6 minutes in the first race anyway. That was short because of time constraints. We are now, though, thankfully running back to full race distance, albeit with this safety car interlude in the middle. So Ian Jones has to try and manage the safety car restart, but Stephen Daly is well and truly gone with him. So a really good restart there from Stephen. And in fact, Ian Jones then slows things back down. It all gets a bit... contact! That was Paul Hinson into the back of Owen Hunter, because Ian Jones has really slowed them down, and that's caused all sorts of carnage behind. Look at this. So Owen Hunter up the inside of Matt Parks is going to try and take fourth place away, but Paul Hinson lost a load of places then before they crossed the start-finish line. That's because he ran into the back of a slowing down Owen Hunter and ended up having to hit the brakes and losing loads of momentum. So Paul Hinson, that's an interesting one for the clerk, of course, to sort out later on. Anyway, what's happened is Owen Hunter's got himself ahead of Matt Parks, but he's now on the grass coming out of Cascades. Ian Jones still leads, Stephen Daly second. David May already had that podium in race 1. He now wants to double up in race 2 if at all possible. Mark Skeets here side by side with Ben Huntley, and Tom Griffiths trying to come to the inside as well. And Griffiths, I think, could be the beneficiary here. Skeets is going to try and hang on round the outside, which he will, because that gives him the inside line for the Shell hairpin. They're negotiating now. The top 6 cars just making a slight breakaway now. Jones, Daly and May leading the charge. Stephen Daly, who was every bit as quick as Ian Jones in race 1, but just couldn't quite prize the door open to take the lead away. Doing this race, they put a bit of a gap on David May in the end in that one as well, who got that first ever podium in the championship, though. It's been coming really since the start of the year, but now he might be about to fall out of the podium positions, because Owen Hunter is breathing down his neck as they drop down the hill in towards Hislops. May 3rd, Hunter 4th. Owen Hunter senses a bit quicker. That engine that he said wouldn't be all that competitive, but it was just an engine to get in the car just so he could get out there and try and race. And well, he got him from 8th to 4th in race 1, and now he's back in 4th place now where he started this race, but he's looking for 3rd. Side-by-side action further back. That was Ben Huntley and Gordon McMillan, I think, side-by-side going up towards Druid. Yes, it is. Huntley on the inside, McMillan in the red car on the outside, and then behind, Tom Griffiths and Mark Skeets are side-by-side again, with Skeetsy just about hanging on. Huntley goes ahead of McMillan, but that will probably change around again in a couple of corners' time, leading to getting away now from David May, who's looking like he's struggling to hold on to this 3rd place a little bit. I know he's going to find a way through, that's the question. It's one thing to be quicker than someone, it's a completely other matter to be able to actually make the move stick. Stephen Daly looking at the inside of Ian Jones there as they cross the line just 2 tenths apart at the end of lap number 4. Fastest lap of the race for Stephen Daly in 2nd position. He's really on the boot lid now of the number 59 car in front of him, down towards Cascades. It was pushing Ian Jones down the hill. Ian just about able to hang on, I think, as they turn into Cascades. Got 3 minutes left on the clock, so 2 more laps to go basically in this race. Stephen Daly therefore has limited time and limited options here to try and get this race lead back away from Ian Jones through the island bend. Sideways there as he gets on the power, but Stephen Daly's not opening the door for him to be able to take advantage. Through the hairpin back down towards Britain's again. David May still 3rd. Hunter and Parks, so fairly static at the moment towards the front. Hunter leading Parks on the previous lap, of course, but not yet able to find a way back ahead of David May. Chicane, avoiding the floppy markers, right up over the curve on the extra corner, though, gives the suspension a real hammering. Back up towards the 2nd half of the lap, over the hill, down into the natural amphitheatre at the Hislops and Nickenbrook complex. Friendly area of the circuit to watch on, that's for sure. With more changing further back, look, Paul Hinson is now starting to recover. You can see the damage on the front of his car as a result of that contact with Owen Hunter at the restart, and he's back ahead of Gordon McMillan now, who himself has a headlight that's flapping a bit loose in the wind. What else flying through? There's Robert Marshall, one of the Scottish Compact Cup drivers who have moved over into the English series in recent times. This fight for 3rd place looks equally as close as the one for the lead, as the 118 rescue car on David May is having to become very wide indeed to fend off the advances of Owen Hunter, who's within striking range down towards Lodge Corner. But David May is no slouch these days, and he knows how to defend. He's late enough on the brakes that he have to defend the inside line, but then runs wide on the exit of the corner, gets all out of shape. kept his foot in it, but that will lose momentum. These are not the most powerful cars you'll see racing here today, so one little slip up like that and it can cost you an awful lot of speed. 3 abreast further back. Tom Griffiths gained 2 places there. I think he goes past Gordon McMillan and Mark Skeet, so yes, he goes from 10th to 8th place to Tom Griffiths. McMillan's not Paul Hinson making hard to lose ground there, so McMillan gets in front of Hinson, but Griffiths gets past the pair of them as Owen Hunter attempts to go past David Mays on the inside for 3rd place down at Cascades, and he's going to go through. David May just gets eased out onto the grass, but I don't think Owen Hunter's going to quite have time to get after the leading 2. Ian Jones, at a circuit he always excels at, is leading the way with just over half a lap to go now. We're on the final lap of this slightly curtailed race. Owen Hunter did just do the fastest lap at 2:05.8, which was about 6/10 quicker than the leaders. He's about a second behind them, so unless they really start fighting, Ian Jones and Stephen Daly, you don't see Owen Hunter really getting up there and challenging them. Daly likewise will not want to take too many risks here. He doesn't want to get involved in any judicial procedures post-race. He'll keep this nice and clean. If there's a sensible, realistic opportunity to try and get past Ian Jones, he'll go for it. Of course he will. But Stephen Daly will very much have the championship in mind at this stage. It's his to lose, and you won't want to lose it through an unforced error or contact or a penalty or something like that. Ian Jones will know this though, and so he'll be trying to use that to his advantage. He's still pushing on though as he soars away at the wheel through his lot snicker up. Hunter now 3rd, May 4th. Matt Parks with another solid pair of top 5 finishes appearing to be beckoning the way of Kid on the Block in the way. We're talking most of the season about Stephen Daly, Ian Jones and Owen Hunter being the 4 men, but latterly Matt Parks and even now David May getting up there and showing that they could mix it with the best. And David May's first race win can't be all that far away. He's had the podium and now he wants the race victory. Down towards Lodge Corner though they're going for the final time, and Ian Jones I think is going to do enough here to fend off Stephen Daly. The 3rd, I don't think there's anything David May or Matt Parks can do about Owen Hunter, so that is how it's going to finish. Out of the final corner over Deers Leap, and Ian Jones takes victory in the 2nd race of the weekend here at Oulton Park. Stephen Daly is 2nd, only 4/10 back at the flag. Oh, contact there between Owen Hunter and David May as they crossed the line side by side, with Hunter 3rd and May 4th. Matt Parks was 5th, then Sam Carrington Yates, Ben Huntley, Tom Griffiths, Gordon McMillan and Paul Hinson round out the top 10. Mark Skeets was 11th, then the rest of them all filing through behind, but it was a fantastic, well-judged drive from Ian Jones. He got his first race win in the first race, and like buses, as the saying goes, you wait for one, and then 2 come along all at once. A 2nd race victory. Stephen Daly won't be too disappointed though with a pair of 2nd places. They're still coming across the line though, still battling hard. Aaron Morgan there is making his way through towards the end. And the rest of them all behind, 33 of them, or 31 of them I suppose, that made it to the end of the race, that are picking their way through now towards the checkered flag. It's Ian Jones and Stephen Daly, men of the moment this weekend, and Ian Jones in particular with a much needed double victory, because when you take his drop scores into account, of course he has that non-finish from Castle Combe, which is only 1 point, because you score a point as long as you start the race, so he drops 1 point for that, and I think he's dropping a 45 for a 3rd place finish from earlier on in the season as well, so he's only dropping 46 points. That's about half of what his nearest rivals are dropping. So Ian Jones from Stephen Daly the top 2, Owen Hunter is 3rd ahead of David May and Matt Parks, Sam Carrington Yates 6th, then Ben Huntley, Tom Griffiths, Gordon McMillan and Paul Hinson round out the top 10. Then outside of that top 10 in 11th position we have Mark Skeets, the Irishman. We followed most of his battling throughout the race ahead of Alan Caulfield, Robert Marshall, Craig Jameson and Keith Towers rounding out the top 15. So the field make their way back around towards the pit lane and Parc Fermé, where hopefully we'll have time to chat to our top 3. First of all though, here are some highlights of the race. It was all about the start again as Ian Jones and Stephen Daly went wheel to wheel down to the first corner, with Ian Jones just about managing to hang on to the lead. It was 3 abreast behind him, but then Chris Hack got turned into a spin and was collected by the luckless pack behind, and that brought out the safety car on the restart. There was all sorts of confusion. Paul Hinson got into the back of Owen Hunter, held himself up, and that meant that he got embroiled in a titanic battle going on behind. Ben Huntley, Gordon McMillan, Mark Skeet, Tom Griffiths, all as one. had Jonathan Atkinson going ahead of Jim Barrett a bit further down the order. The battle's as intense throughout the field as ever they are. Owen Hunter was applying the pressure to David May, trying desperately to get a podium result for his efforts. He forced a mistake out of David May at Lodge, and a few corners later got back up the inside at Cascade to get himself onto the podium. That's the perfect reward for the team for fitting a new engine overnight. It was a double race victory though for Ian Jones, who came home ahead of Stephen Daly to take the race victory. Well, the drivers are back down now in Parc Fermé, and hopefully we'll have time before our next race gets underway to have a chat with them. We've still got 2 more races to go, remember. The Miltech Sports Vault VW Racing Cup and the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Super Cup to round out the day's action, so don't go anywhere. Both of those races will be live streamed in just a few minutes' time. Ian Jones, though, first of all, we need to get the thoughts of our double race victor here from Oulton Park. The start is always important in racing, especially here at this tight and narrow circuit, and Ian Jones got 2 perfect starts to record the perfect score here at Oulton Park.
Yeah, exactly, and a perfect day. What a day.
Yeah, what a day.
You break into song.
I can't sing. You wouldn't want me to sing.
Thank goodness for that. You're good at driving though, that's the main thing.
Most of the time, not always.
So that was a pretty hard-fought race. I mean, just looking at you, a bit sweaty, a bit warm, but it was a hard-fought race. You had to really keep focused.
Yeah, one mistake Stephen would have got me, and I think that was the same with Stephen and Owen as well. Absolutely brilliant. I can't thank Andy Waters from AW Track Sport enough, and Crocodilla, who are helping fund this year. Without them, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely, and it's all about the racing. I mean, you guys put on another really good show from start to finish. You probably don't know what's going on behind or even care what's going on behind, but for us watching, it's a bit of a privilege, really.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like the Compact Cup. The way it is, front to back, there's always something going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So another trophy for you. You must be happy.
Very.
Good stuff. Let me speak to our second place man. Well done there to race winner Ian Jones. Let's bring in Mr. Daly. Well, 6 race wins this year. Not today, though. So, Stephen, how was that for you today? It was an unusual one for you.
Yeah, I mean, Ian's a very quick, experienced guy, so same with Owen, same with everyone, really. So, I mean, I'm happy to just be at the front mixing it with the guys, you know what I mean? Safety car kind of ruined that race. I was getting right into a rhythm, and then safety car kind of blew that. So, good point.
But then when the safety car goes in, you always have the chance of being right on the back end again, and you didn't really leave his shadow.
No, I mean, I was right on the back of him with the safety car, but Ian warmed his tyres up a lot more than I did. So I suffered for maybe half a lap just with understeer, and that kind of gave him a little bit more of a gap. And to be fair, he was that pacey, I was not going to get him anyway.
Well done, second.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done to Stephen Daly. Let's bring in Owen Hunter then. And that was, I think, at the end, I mean, you kept it going, and finally, the fruits of your labour.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough weekend. We blew our engine up yesterday, so been playing catch-up all day because I got no testing. But yeah, I'm really happy with the result, and I think we deserve it.
With something like the Compact Cup, how much is testing? How much does that play a part in it?
Oh, massive. And I mean, Oulton Park's, it's a big circuit, and there's a lot of setup to be had here. But yeah, we managed to get there in the end. I just want to thank Phil at XDR Motors for his efforts to getting the new engine and getting me out today. It was superb.
Tell us a little bit about that overtaking manoeuvre that you did for David May, because I mean, you had to wait, and then of course it comes through at the end, but it doesn't always work that way.
No, I mean, the last lap board came out and I thought it felt a bit soon, so that annoyed me a bit, to be honest, and I thought, oh, I'm not having this. So I made the move at Cascades, and luckily Dave had the respect to leave me the room. Not enough, but enough for me to get through. But yeah, fantastic racing as ever.
And for those of us who don't know much about the BMW Compact Cup, can you tell us a little bit about the cars that you have underneath you?
Truthfully, they're hard work. Not many people just jump in one and go right to the front. It takes years and a lot of effort to get the car where you want it and to become the driver that needs to win. But yeah, they're tough. They're tough cars to handle. They're a lot harder than people think.
And they produce some pretty nice racing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of the best in the country, in my opinion, and it's a pleasure to be a part of it.
Well done. Third place, that's pretty good. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So yes, some pretty exciting racing from top to bottom. And these cars, when you have a single class or single car championship, it really comes down to driver ability, and something that, Andy, I know you've been watching over the last number of years of the BMW Compact Cup, and you won't be surprised to find out it's another great race.